Expect to see some magic here tonight, folks. And we have a 3, 2, 1 and pills from our DrMC bot. Round one, level 6 through 9, our 8 seed Flubs versus our 9 seed Savage Octagon. And they are off to the races here. Flubs with that yellow blue tuck. That's going to be the name of the game is to minimize the drop time, be as efficient as possible. And both these players are doing just that, Ook.
Yeah, I really like what Savage has been getting. You saw her just drop down that flat combo there. That is exactly what you want to see from the doctor. These players know how to make really amazing combos, but they really don't want to have to. If the doctor is providing some really good pills and not making you play your game too hard, then you know what? That's going to make for a faster game. So now it is 14 to 17. Savage with a slight lead, but Fwubs with a couple of setups all ready to go here. Doesn't have a lot of use for yellow. Savage, in fact, has no use for yellow, but it should not be too long before both these players are out of this level 6.
And as you said, that Flubs had an interesting setup with the blues and yellows hanging over about 10 seconds earlier, creating a little bit of a strategic garbage play to make sure she was minimizing the drop time here. Cutting everything down, everything is exposed on Flubs' side. 9 for her and 5 for Savage Octagon, who needs a bunch of blues to now progress and get out of this level 6 here. Both these players doing excellent work with their setups.
Yeah, we saw her practicing earlier, and it was the same thing. Needed a ton of blues to get out. Flubs, though, needs a lot of reds and is getting a red blitz. So Savage out at 129 with a pause buffer. Flubs out at a 130. So pretty much neck and neck here as they get into level 7. And Savage with a great combo there to start. Those horizontals always feel good. And she's got some ideas. Let's see if it is going to work out. Goes ahead and takes the combo that she can get rather than trying to find one that she can't. She would really like this double blue that is happening right there. She knew that was coming, and it is working out for her. Meanwhile, Fwub's still keeping it tied and now with a slight lead at 17 now to 20.
A little bit of a misdrop over on Flubs's. Looks to me like her fourth row up with that blue on top of the yellow here. She can tackle it from the side, so not too detrimental as everything is exposed on her board here. Meanwhile, taking a look over at Savage's side, who's got a really sloped board over to that left side. She's going to have to address the yellows in a horizontal fashion, probably from the bottom first. No, that plan has since been destroyed, but she is going to drop this down. 12 to 14. The leads are exchanging now 11 to 14 in favor of Savage Octagon.
Yeah, and I think okay, it wasn't a full yellow blitz, although she did have the double blue, which usually signals the end of a double yellow blitz. Savage is looking like she's going to get out. Just another yellow there. It's going to come out at a 252. So sub 3 minutes coming out of 7. There's another pause buffer. She looks a little perplexed at herself for doing that again. But every second that she gets here in this level is going to give her a slight advantage over Fwubs, who is just needing a couple of reds now. A double red will do it for her. Is going to build up, and yep, one more red, and that will get her out.
And where is
Come
that red?
on.
Where is the
There it
red?
is.
Bringing it down at a 322. A little bit behind the 8 ball is Flubs going into level 8, but no lead is safe with these matches, as we know. The Calories players has really shown their leaps and bounds, and we're going to expect some really fantastic plays from both these players here. Flubs creating a little bit of a funnel in the middle part of her section, now completely devoid of yellow. Again, making strategic use of that yellow. I like what she's doing with that, dropping everything down. Looking over at Savage's side, who's got a relatively flat board, chock full of doubles ready to go. I like this drop.
Oh,
Dropping
yeah.
into another one. Beautiful play from Savage Octagon.
Yeah, that double into a triple, exactly what she wanted to see, and that is she's gotten herself a really big lead here. With just a touch over 4 minutes, Savage already down to just 8 viruses left and has all of them pretty well free and clear. Is going to be able to take out, yep, just a red, just a yellow, just a blue, and that's going to do it for her. This is a good time. She's going to get underneath that 4.5 mark here at a 425 going into level 9. It is exactly where she wants to be, stay on that 6 minute pace.
Absolutely. Players are trying to look to get out of level 8 at a 3 minute mark. Looking to get out of the level 8 at about a 430-ish, and Savage is really on pace, on par to get some really fantastic times up there. Meanwhile, take a look. I like this drop from Flubs. Huge drop combo. That's going to destroy 3 viruses off her board.
Yeah, that's going to do a little bit to get her moving forward. Although Savage with very similar plays at the end of her board, pretty much just gonna hold serve as far as the time goes. Fweb's gonna get as little drop time as possible, making that bracket clear. That's gonna be really good for her. Just needs two more blues. Uh, where are the blues? There's one. There's the second one out at a 5:16, so about a minute behind.
5:16, about 25 fires behind here. Savage firmly in a driver's seat, just having everything set up and ready to go. Beautiful, clean end game on Savage's side, and Flubs knows that she's going to play with a little bit of extra added pressure just to try and stay in a fight here, but it might be a little too late here as Savage is down to her final 7 viruses here.
Yeah, this one red is the last one she needs. This double yellow coming when it does is gonna be perfect. That's gonna free up all the garbage off that blue. Now it is just blues that she needs, and there's not gonna be like one of these three in the bottom corner is gonna have to be taken as a solo. There's that one. Is gonna be this double blue, gonna be perfect for out at a 603. So didn't get the sub six, but by golly, did get very close.
And Flubs made this an interesting game. I mean, she got out of level 8 about a 510, but down to her final 18 viruses here, and Flubs realized she's out there, but a really excellent 9 to try and get her back into fight here. But it's just a little bit too late as Savage puts up a fantastic 603 against Flubs 6 to 8 that didn't really pan out the way it was. Probably some bad RNG that took place on her side.
Yes, indeed. And Savage giving us a camera. Sometimes, sometimes she's just like, nope, not at all, and is gonna have the have the logo up, giving us the camera tonight. Uh, so we can see she is all smiles after that one. I think she feels really good getting a low six out of the first game.
Most definitely. And that seems to be the gold standard with a lot of these players. You know, we used to look at the times and say, oh man, sevs are great. 6 threes are okay. But now it seems to be like the meta is a low six or even now into the 5 minute mark here, which is just, showing everyone's improvement. Just really fantastic to see all these players really getting their work in and getting better at their craft here. Both these players are ready here, Ook, and we're going to count us down in with a 3, 2, 1, and pills off to game 2.
All right, and yeah, I like both these boards. Savage, though, is gonna have use for all these red blues that are coming up. Not gonna have as much use for anything with a yellow, especially red yellows. So we'll see, kind of how many of those start showing up in the board and what she does with them. Meanwhile, on Fweb's side, fairly even color-wise, a little more red than probably she would like. And a double red blitz here would be extra great for Fwebs. So we'll see if the doctor do deliver.
And Flubs has been trying to figure out where to place certain red pills to try and take 2 for the price of 1 here. That's going to be really important as these pills were mostly set up in a way to try and clear them out with the minimal amount of pill sequencing here. And that's exactly what Flubs did here. 11 to 10 here. This is both neck and neck between both these players here. Savage down to a final bit of it here. Going to take that Illa, dropping it down. Going to clear the reds out in a horizontal fashion. No, going to take that vertically in the first side here. 4 to 9 still in favor of Savage Octagon.
Wub's making a really good last second adjustment there. She took a little bit of garbage out with a blue, but was able to then use it to, oh, can you get the lightning bolt? There it is.
Yeah,
Was
that's it.
able to use it to get the blues horizontally. Savage out of 120, Flub's out at a 123. So practically no difference. As Savage gets a triple, Flubs gets a double, both blues at the top of the board. Is this even randomized?
You love to see it here when these players get to the pills and take the exact same horizontal within the same sort of pill sequence, and you love to see it. You just know that these players are really playing their A game going into this game 2 here. But Flubs with some chock full of doubles, destroying a bunch of viruses here. 17 to 21, taking a lead over on Savage Octagon. And Flubs is playing a really clean, efficient game here, completely devoid of any sort of garbage pieces and garbage halves on Flubs' side.
Yeah, this is definitely the sort of board I was talking about in the first game where you want the doc to just give you a board that you don't have to think about, that everything is coming up just really well for you. She has had to make some really smart decisions here and has done so. But overall, this has been a board that just begged to be taken out with doubles, as you said. And this double yellow going to be great to get Fwubs out. She now still has a 5 virus lead as she just needs one red, three yellows, and there's two of those yellows right there.
Excellent prioritization from Flubs here. She was needing to destroy all the yellow viruses, really make a dent in that board here. Out at a 240, which is a really blazing time going into this level here. Meanwhile, Savage not too far behind with a couple of more reds. She's also going to be joining her level 8 with Flubs here. But as it sees here, Flubs just going on a tear to really make this a game. 257 for Savage Octagon.
Yeah, this is a really nice board for Fwubs, although, as I say that, her access to yellow and red is kind of diminishing, and now it's looking like a terrible board for Fwubs. So I guess I spoke too soon there, but she needs as much blue as she can get. Meanwhile, Savage, with the better board health early on in this one, is going to not need as much blue in a little bit, but for right now, a little bit of everything, and that's what you want to see on these early boards.
Yeah, I agree. Flubs had a bunch of blue. Now is returning a little bit more symmetry to her board. I like how she drops it down to get a little bit more exposure on her board to make sure that she has a play for now. All of her pill sequencing, I think at this point, she is pretty straightforward game, just going to be making some vertical down, straight down plays to get out of this level. So despite the fact that blue glut in the middle was really just a disaster to see. She's really made some clean work out of it here. Going to be out at a low 4, just this blue and this red here. Savage with a bunch of res on her side. Flub's going to drop this down. 402. One more blue for Flub. She's going to get this out into her level 9 at a 407. Excellent time coming out of level 8 into level 9.
Yeah, we can expect, I would say, to see a PB for Fwubs. Currently, her 6 to 9 all-time best is a 658. So I imagine, unless this level 9 is just horrendous for her, at the very least she's going to see a PB, if not a game win here, because this has been a really good seed for her, and she has not dropped the ball at all.
Yeah, she's just been hitting the gas nice and hard going into this level here, dropping everything down. Again, completely devoid of any sort of garbage, and everything's ready to set up here. Strategic plays with the yellows on top of it here. That's not going to be too much of a problem on Flubs' side, as she's going to turn that garbage into gold later down the road. Savage out with about a 457 going into her level 9 here, a little bit behind, but I like Savage's board. She is chock full of doubles at the top. 22 to 37, still in favor of Flubs, who it's just not, who's been unrelenting going into this level 9, and basically this whole game, this whole match.
She's gonna get a drop combo, and like I like to say, drop time doesn't count when you're going into a combo like that. It is sometimes just what you have to do. It's the price of doing business, and yeah, that has worked out for Fwubs. Meanwhile, Savage just going at it with this level 9, firing on all cylinders, not even pausing any more than she has to, is going to run into a bit of a stumper here with no access to red, but she's already cut the lead down to 5. That is just kind of her way. She knows she's down and is not having any of it. Down to again 11 to 6, 11 to 5 now as Fwubs is closing in on the end game. She needs a little bit more blue and will be out of it, but Savage close on her heels.
An excellent recognition on Flubs' side. Earlier in the board, about a minute behind, she had her 6th, 7th, and 8th columns just all blues all day. As Flubs gets out at a 613, she is absolutely stoked with that time. GG's across the board, and that was just masterclass over on Flubs' side. Excellent play.
Yeah, absolutely. And Savage gonna get out with a great time here. Uh, oh, okay. Well, I thought she was gonna get out with a great time. She said, "Nope, no, I'm not getting out at all." But still, she was at sub 6.5 with only a few viruses left and had plans on almost all of them. So, uh, yeah, that was a heck of a level set from Fwubs. But now you know what that means.
Well, I just
Cough,
know that
cough.
I've got a fever, and the only prescription is D-Cider. Let's go. Oh man, couldn't have asked for what a way to kick off the July Gold bracket here. Getting PBs across the board, low times, quick times, and a decider. I mean, the players are on pins and needles, but you gotta love it here in the booth and over at home.
And again, we're talking about like a 45-second PB there. That's not something that happens. So Fwub's really, really just knocking that one out of the park. But I got to feel like Savage is going to go beast mode as they get started here. And look at this combo to start from Savage.
Huge L over on Savage's board here. Is this versus the speed run? Completely devoid of any sort of drop time. You love to see it. As Savage is going to have a little bit of an issue with her first most column. That's going to be used for just drops and anything not really useful at that point here. But both these players having a bunch of reds and blues at the top. Now Savage exposing at yellow, but now yellow's tucked at the very bottom here. That may pose some problems over on Savage's side as she's going to use that. Yeah, yes, yellow blue strategic drop, bracketing it down 13 to 15, still in favor of Savage Octagon.
Yeah, that yellow over on column 2 for Fwubs, she dropped that red yellow. I didn't see it when it happened. I can't imagine that it is anything but a misdrop, but she is going to get this double yellow. That's going to take care
Ooh.
of that and solve the problem. And actually getting this pair of blues taken care of horizontally is going to open up an underclear opportunity. So she's not going to run into any of the major problems as Savage just needs now a red and 3 yellows to get herself out. Fwub's going to need 2 yellows and a red. We'll see what happens first.
And Flubs is going to be out at 124, but Savage out at a 126. These players neck and neck going into it. It's almost as if there's no lead with this. Oh, you love to see it here, Ook.
Yes, indeed. A bit of a slope board for Savage towards the right. It's not going to be too much of a problem because it's kind of barged up at the top. But we'll see kind of what happens there. I like this play for her as she goes into an ad break. So we're going to watch what Flubs is doing.
Savage breaking the game and a little bit of a stream there, but we'll get her back on a few months here, folks. Meanwhile, Flub's dropping everything down. This level 7 for her is going to be a little bit more straightforward, I would think. Just playing a little bit of a top-down vertical approach. Sometimes when you're playing these levels here, you want to just drop everything down and keep the color coordination and the color diversity over on the top line here. Flubs dropping everything, making everything very nice and neat, creating that double to minimize any sort of drop into it and keeping it as efficient as possible here. 13 viruses on the Flub side.
Yeah, Packy letting us know that this is stream is brought to you by CrowdStrike. Too soon, man. Too soon. Uh,
Oh man.
oh me. So yeah, I just realized that our YouTube videos, that's not going to make any sense here in just a couple of months. But anyway, as as we continue to watch what Forbes has got, she's down to just 6 viruses left. And pretty much free and clear on all of them is going to be yes, going to be able to take some of this. Really would have liked a blue to come for her earlier so she could have gotten a lower drop time, but out of the 312 and into level 8. So a little bit slower pace than what we saw in the last game. Without knowing where Savage is, we're not able to say, you know, where the lead is, but I got to imagine Savage is already pretty heavily into this 8 around that same time.
Yeah, most definitely here as we take a look over here. And we got Savage back here, as you said, 338 at the level 8 there, down to our final bit of viruses there. Perhaps going to take that. Oh, look at his fat log from Savage.
Oh,
Huge way.
yeah.
What a way to come back into this match here. 8 to 19 over in favor of Savage Octagon.
Oh, there's some more viruses. Uh, we're getting
Ooh, and a
everything
lightning
kind of
rod from
reset.
Savage.
Yeah, and I like her waiting for that yellow red. That is exactly what she needed. Now just needs 2 more reds, and at a 416, she'll be going into level 9 again on that sub 6 pace. We'll see if she hits it this time.
Excellent strat again. These players have really tried to get to that sub 430 with the level 8, and both of them have been doing that. Just absolute flawless play. from to both of them here. Savage taking it yellow blue, tucking it down in between the pills. I think it's a smart play considering that that is the only place to really place that pill. Flubs getting to the last bit of her virus, needing a yellow and a blue. Hopefully, the yellow blue in that order or a double blue is going to drop that down with a couple more yellows here. And Flubs is going to be joining Savage Octagon a 450, 451.
Yeah. So again, Fwubs, it's about what we were looking at in game one. Fwubs just behind, but we saw she's capable of putting some real good times down, and looks to be that Savage has this one pretty well covered as she is down to just 11 viruses, but really bad pill sequence could change that. Not going to wish that on anybody, though. That's not the way you want to see a game like this end, especially between two players who have been putting their all out there like these two have.
Well, most certainly. Flubs with the drop T, still putting some fantastic moves, fantastic showing, but it's going to be a little bit too late. As Savage with an astoundingly quick 539 taking the victory over on Flubs, who, as we said, put on an absolute great showing here, but just wasn't enough as Savage was just unrelenting with this game three here. But GG's across the board. You'll love to see it be kicked off within this July Speed 2024 bracket. Excellent showing, excellent play, just masterclass across the board.
By the way, that is a PB for Savage by 2 seconds. So, uh, all this time, that is her absolute best 6 to 9. GG's to both players. That was a great match.